So Arsenal 2, Bayer Leverkusen 0. They control us as much as they like on Twitter.
You
They
let them.
control us as much as they want on TikTok. They control us as much as they like. Yeah, they can hold that because that was one of the best performances Arsenal put in all season.
Yeah.
Kenny was at the game. Make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972. I'll share your posts in a minute. Yeah. And Kenny, I'm so happy you've seen that because we've been good in the Champions League this season. And tonight we see some very good performances. Their goalkeeper, by the way, was incredible. And
Shake his hands.
it took a worldie from Ezebeche Eze, yeah, to break the deadlock because he was like Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
everything.
the cat. Yeah, he was saving everything. What a goal. Zubamendi, that was one of his best performances for me. Yeah. Declan Rice for me was man of the match. Ben White, I thought played well. Yeah, Gabby Magalhaes probably could have had a hat trick in the first 10 minutes.
You know, all the headers he had, didn't it?
Yeah.
All 3
But
headers.
at the same time, going back the other way, defensively, I thought he was good as well and made some good clearances.
Yeah.
The save from David Raya. Yeah, and listen, we've been on Raya's case at points over the season, and we
Yes,
think
right,
there's
yeah.
other keepers that may or may not be better, whatever. It's all subjective, sorry. Yeah. However, we're in the next round, and Bodo Glimt, yeah, got absolutely shanked by Sporting Lisbon. So now our striker is
Playing
going
his
up
old
against
club.
his former club. Hincapi, by the way, what a performance. Standard.
Player.
He's like Nacho Monreal with a little bit of vim
Yeah.
for me.
That's,
He was at the ground, Kenny. People in my chat were saying to me, oh, the atmosphere is a bit flat. And then Eze scored that goal. Kenny,
let me tell you something now. Everything you said about the players. Well, firstly, I've got to play true. I thought Victor Gyökeres held the ball up really well. I thought it was one of his better games, and I've got to give credit where it's due. I thought he was excellent today. It's one of his best performances without scoring, you know. And you can't knock him. You can't knock it. One thing I would 100% say is that Declan, that European football suits Declan. You know, suiting him today. Suleimani was good on the ball, but Eze, I thought, you know what? It was about this time last year he started scoring those worldy goals. But what a strike! And you know what? The celebration said, "Yeah, I do this all the time."
That was as good as the goal.
He was doing this goal, but a second goal when we won the ball back, Declan Rice, I say, shoot, and he did, and he right in the bottom corner. But one thing I will say is that the levels we play at to the extent that we let them have the ball, but as soon as we up the tempo, they just couldn't live with us. They just couldn't hack it. The minute, and their goalkeeper was like, oh, spectacular. But every time we lost the ball, we won it back really quickly. We broke their hearts. We absolutely broke their hearts. And when they did have the ball, they couldn't penetrate us. They didn't have a clean ball. They had one shot and goal. As you said, Raya made a spectacular save. Easily our best forward. But I think what's happened is we've got a lot of confidence because of how the situation with Brighton and Man City not being able to, punish us and then beating Everton. I think that's where we were at a bit of a turning point. Obviously, the energy levels, are coming back a little slowly, but Europe definitely suits us. But I'll have to say right now, the only negatives was because Saka was looking tired for the last 20 minutes. I was thinking, come on, mate, come on. If you're going to play him again in the League Cup final, you're going to get him to lead the team, mate. At least make that substitution. But apart from that, I don't know what the deal is between Bukayo and Mikel Arteta. Is it a situation where he's saying to Bukayo, I need you out there. The only way you're going to get strong again is if you keep on playing these games. You keep on, and maybe that's the deal because he did try to do the Saka things. He wasn't trying to cut on his left foot. He was shooting from difficult angles, forcing saves, and he looked better. But we know the Bukayo Saka that from 3 years ago, he was levels above today's performances, and that's the only bugbear. I thought Trossard as well when he came on as well when he started today. I thought his work rate was unbelievable. The way he's winning the ball back, being a bit of a nuisance, forced the first save from their goalkeeper, tied a bit, and then Martinelli came on. But it's one of those things where I still think we're going to be short for the Champions League. Won't lie, but I'm there to be proven wrong. I'm just glad that we've now got ourselves in a situation where it it wasn't taxing emotionally, and then we can
Mhm.
look forward to Sunday, where Sunday's going to be a kind of a different game. It's going to be a shootout between the two of the best teams in the country. Clearly, Man City look like they're dead on their feet. But one thing I will say about Man City, and one thing you can't be denied, they're a wounded animal. They're
And
wounded.
they lost at home tonight as well.
They lost at home, but the fact
With
is
10
that
men, so they've had a run around.
yeah, they've had 10 men. They got the tactics wrong last week in Madrid. You know, they ran out of ideas against West Ham. I ain't underestimating them. Of course, we're the favourites. Of course, we're playing better than them. But the fact is that I still going to give them the respect they deserve. They still got the best striker in one. The probably one
Scored
out of
tonight.
yeah. They still got one of the best strikers in Europe. They still got some really good players, and they got attacking players. So I'm looking forward to that. Team selection for Wembley is going to be a bit different. I know what you're going to say. I know you're going to say, and because I spoke to Darren Sullivan, he said the same thing. You know, in terms of Raya making that fantastic save, I still think it's Kepa that's going to play.
Yeah,
And
Kepa played. Yeah, Kepa played.
I don't think it'll make a bit of difference. But but if he does pick Raya, I won't be upset. I've got to play true to Raya because a lot of people last week mistook my kind of point on a podcast where I suggested that if we want to be elite, if we can find someone who's a percentage better than what we got, and I used Ray as an example, let's go for it. But today, last couple of games, I think Ray has been like really commanding. One of the things I like today is that when a cross is winning, he got the ball. His distribution was a lot better than normal. His communication effects is a lot better. When I look at him, I'm so glad he's our number one. But the ruthless side of me thinks that if he can get to another level where he can be up there with Allison, be up there with with Edison and Donnarumma, I will shut my mouth and I was not try and see if there's anything better because if we win the league, and it looks like we're going to win the league, it'll be people like him who took us to that next level. And I'm always going to hire him the high ground. Declan Rice, I've been critical at times. I've asked him for more. He's another player that I'm going to just think, thanks a lot because you took us to that level. And obviously our defenders, Magalesh, you know, they deserve it because they've put up with a lot of criticism, a lot from me. And I just hope that this doesn't end. But saying that, when I look at today's game, and I look at our chances in Europe, I don't know. I don't know. It's still going to be. I think we'll get past Sporting Lisbon, but I do worry about Barcelona. I worry about Bayern still. So it's one of those things where just got to be one game at a time, Lee. One
And the
game at a
one
time.
game is this weekend, and you are going to
Well,
be there, Kenny.
Lee, I'll tell you one thing. I can't wait to that final. And I've said to a lot of people, it's not about the match. I still say to every Arsenal fan, regardless of whether you're watching it in the stadium or you're watching it at home, make a day of it. If you're going to watch it at home, get all your mates around, or you want to watch it on your own, do your thing, but make sure you make a day of it and sample the atmosphere. If you're at the ground, get there early because it's an occasion. We haven't had this thing for 6 years, and we weren't allowed to enjoy it as fans, and we
Yeah,
watch it on
last time.
TV,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was in front of an empty stadium. I think, regardless of what happens on Sunday, make sure you've made a day of it. Make sure you enjoy it. Make sure because any cup final day, whether it's a League Cup, obviously it's not the FA Cup, it's not the Champions League final, but it's a final. Enjoy your day. And to the players, I just say, just give everything you're all. If you're all, don't leave anything out. Don't leave anything in the dressing room. Do yourself justice. If you lose, yeah, I'll probably slam you, but we still got that lead to win.
100%. Listen, Kenny Ken 1972 on Instagram. Kenny, enjoy that cup final, mate.
I'm going to enjoy that cup final, and I say now, do not let Martin Odegaard anywhere near that squad. He's not fit. we're not sentimental. Let's. He has made a little contribution,
Hey,
but the
listen, Max
players.
Damon, that's a school night for Damon as well. He's got school Monday.
Well, he
So
might not play, but let him get involved in the build up. Let him enjoy. If he gets on, he gets on. If he doesn't get on, but
we'll be 3-0 up at that point, Kenny, and
well,
he'll get on.
hopefully. But one thing I will say, let's let the players who got us there, who've been with us through thick and thin, overcome injury, put their bodies in line. Let them have first dibs, not players like Martin Odegaard. That's not a dig against him, but he's not been contributing, and he's not fit.
Follow Kenny Ken 1972. We'll do this on Sunday when we're League
Right,
Cup
so
winners.
that, and
Right.
me, I'll be at Wembley Way, and it's either going to be the Preston pub on Preston Park, just in Wembley, or it's the Torch. But anyone who wants to go to Wok and Roll for a bit of Chinese, it's closed down.
On that bombshell, mate, I love you. Take care. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.